Hi, I'm Michelle. I am here at my home studio in Ridgewood, Queens. I run a studio called Okimoto. We do flowers, plants, gardening, anything related to flowers and plants. And I've picked some spring flowers for my front garden to share with you. Knowing the names of flowers will be really helpful. There's a lot of them, so just keep learning. These are scabiosas, both of these, butterfly blue and pink mist. This is bronze fennel. Fennel is actually a vegetable that you can eat. This is the foliage. These are dwarf iris. This is, these are parrot tulips. They're called parrot tulips because these petals look like feathers. So like in the city we're really disconnected from nature, but I just like after a long winter I think it's so nice to get out in your neighborhood and see all the ways in which people are reconnecting with nature and bringing, you know, plants and flowers to their homes. These are cute little violas. Something nice there's something that I really like about working with flowers and growing plants is that we're always growing plants or working with flowers and we're doing it for other people. It's not just for us. So it's like something that everyone can enjoy. When you plant a garden in your neighborhood, it's something that everyone can see and everyone can enjoy. When you make an arrangement with flowers, cut flowers, usually it's something to share with others as well. With this video, I just want to show you what it means to be a florist, that it's a job that a lot of people do, a creative job. As young artists, I think it's important to know that flowers can be a material that you use to make, you know, living sculptures. And I also want to show you couple different places in the area where flowers grow, introduce you to the people that grow them. I want to show you what the flower market on 28th Street in Manhattan is like and introduce you to some people who work there that distribute flowers. And I also want to introduce you to someone who owns a retail shop in Brooklyn and show you what that looks like and how it's a little bit different than what I do as someone who works from my home.
I just knew, I don't know, I used them in whatever and they were amazing. They hold up forever as a cut.
Yeah.
And so why not
And
why
you
not
can
sell them?
get them to root.
Right.
Yeah, they're beautiful. What do you love most about what you do?
What I love most is that every day is different. It's different based on the flowers that we grow. It's based on the time of year that it is because our crops change seasonally, and so every day is different, and it's very fun to be surrounded by so many different flowers and colors and varieties, and it's just really interesting to watch things grow. I actually think that a lot of what I do it really relates to art, and I look at it as a form of three-dimensional art with living products. Mm-hmm. So they are a temporary form of art, mm-hmm. but from a design standpoint, it's art. When you're working with specific flowers that are incredibly beautiful, that have a certain form of movement, like bleeding heart, they're a form of art. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Given to us by nature.
Yeah.
Which is really amazing.
Yeah, I like that you said what you love most about what you do here for work is that every day is different. And I think that applies to what you're saying too about working with temporary products, that every day with a cut flower, it looks different every day, it changes.
Yes.
It's never going to be the same from moment to moment.
Right.
Which is something that I also really like about working with flowers. So can you introduce yourself and tell us what you do, how long you've been doing it, where you're working, what your job is?
Hello, my name is Roland, and I grew up in the city at an early age. I had a passion for nature, flowers at a really early age that was due to florists in my family. I decided to pursue it as a career, and it led me to where I am today, which is meeting with one of the growers that made that possible for me as a young city boy. We don't get to see much of nature's art. And what I come to realize is that nature's art truly is for everyone, anyone to enjoy, because it grows naturally and it's available to us all. And what's really special about how this all happens is when people like Kimberly find it special and important to grow nature's art, to provide it for people like me who can help provide it for people like florists who need the stuff and don't have the time to go out picking themselves or growing themselves, which makes it necessary for a person like myself to find out where it grows and to provide it for the retail industry, to provide it for the consumer. So I don't look at flowers as a luxury business. I look at it as a business of necessity, meaning it's just another form of art through shape and colors and varieties that make people happy. And this is only possible through relationships, relationships with others that are willing to be of service to someone else, to try to make someone else smile because of what they do. That's where the relationship occurs with flowers, and we do it with the help of flowers.
Trying to figure out what I need for this custom arrangement. Magnolia leaves are a really common green that you'll see. This is sprouted willow, curly willow, which is really pretty. I think this is local, like from New Jersey. This looks like it might be pampas grass, but it's hard to tell without it unveiled. Camellias. These are cherry blossoms. These are also cherry blossoms. These are like the more puffy sort of compound cherry blossoms, but the buds are really tight, so they probably won't open for like another week.
Go ahead.
This is Keith Pierpont.
Yes, this is Keith Pierpont.
And we're here at Pierpont Blossom Farm.
Yes.
Where are we in Long Island?
We're in Baiting Hollow.
Baiting Hollow, Long Island.
Yes.
And Keith, I was just wondering what advice you might have for a young artist who would be interested in working with flowers.
What advice?
Yeah. Or what's one?
Don't dream about it, do it.
Mm.
You know, a lot of people think about it and they overthink it and they don't do it. It's like my Aunt Marie, she said to me, you know, you keep talking about this farm that you want to do. When are you going to do it, she said. And that's when I said, okay, I'm doing it.
And so you just started.
Yeah. You know, it was tough and I just kept planting stuff and, you know.
And so for young artists that are in the city, how can you get into it?
Well, you go work for somebody.
Yeah.
Try to find the best florist that will let you apprentice. You know, I've seen a lot of people where they talk about it, you know, and then they stay in this rut job that they don't like, you know. Mm-hmm. The main thing is jump in. Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid, yeah. How has community played a role in what you do?
I try to really help the bees. That's one of my big things, you know.
It's a part of your community.
But we lost 6 hives last year out of 7. They pollinate everything. Without them pollinating, we don't get fruit. We don't get, you know,
flowers,
apples or oranges. Everything needs to be that develops needs to be pollinated.
Which is like a citrus one for spring that I want to do as like a Mother's Day thing. To fall over throughout the day.
Uh-huh.
So they don't stay, and then the top of it I just rehydrate it. It'll get crispy.
It dries.
Yeah. We only, like, mostly for arrangements, we just do orders that have come in online. So everything's a pre-order. So this was somebody actually who placed their order for tomorrow on our website, and then they emailed and were like, hey, can I actually have it for today? And a lot of times, you know, we would say no if we have like a really busy day, but we're trying to take more same day orders, and it was early enough that I was able to say, yeah, we can do that for today. My favorite part of being a florist and being a shop owner is definitely that floristry has provided me a space where I get to be creative and also, you know, like the business side of it. It's fused them together for me because I think I'm a person that's very creative, but I'm also very pragmatic and logical, and I like to grow my business in the same way that I want to, like, you know, push myself to be a better florist. And I think it's been the duality of that has been really important for me as a human, just to like grow and challenge myself. And it's like constant evolution. So for the flower aspect of it, I think it was my passion starting out that I was very attracted to flowers, the colors, the shapes, the textures. I didn't know that floristry was a creative outlet. I never thought of floristry as a creative job, and it very much is so. It's almost like you're building a sculpture every time you make a flower arrangement. So I think my passion for building arrangements transitioned when I started growing my business and hiring staff and ordering flowers and learning about the operations of floristry. Because there's a lot that goes into owning a flower shop that's not about putting the flower in the vase. There's a lot of, you know, breaking down boxes and ordering flowers and paying bills and all the other stuff that comes along with being an entrepreneur and to running a business. So there's so many different ways to be a florist. It's mind-boggling. You know, when I got into floristry, I thought there was flower shops, and then I thought that you did weddings and you were a studio. I thought that would, or you could work in the flower market. And I had no idea that in between all of that, you could work in fashion, you could work in nonprofits with flowers, you could, you know, be a grower, you could grow flowers, you could start your own studio and just do, you know, fashion events or special events that don't have anything to do with weddings. I have friends that are florists and just do account flowers, which means that you do a weekly delivery for like a restaurant or a business. And there's just so many different ways to be a florist, and everybody has like their own idea of what that could be and like what would be sustainable for them. what could be profitable for them, based on maybe their connections with their neighborhood or their city. And there's just so many different ways to do it. So again, as when I work with different designers, like they're all coming from different experiences.
This garden's really nice in the summer too. I don't think anything's blooming right now, but this is a really nice rose bush. Another rose bush. And then this is a really nice climbing rose bush. Oh, these are really cool. These are the foliage of lupine flowers. And observing and being in my environment is a really big part of my process and getting inspired, to keep creating art, to keep working with flowers. I always think it's important to remember that a big part of making art is just living and observing the world around you so that you have inspiration and things to make art about.